Here's why you should believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win the NBA Finals this year. The 2020 NBA Finals will be contested between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat. Game 1 starts on Wednesday, September the 30th, which from my recording day is tomorrow. And you already know I'm going to keep three eyes glued on that one. So it's going to be really fun to watch. I think this is going to be a fun finals. Let's get into why I think the Lakers are going to win this finals. And I'm pretty confident in my statement about that. And I really think it comes down to a very simple reason: star power. Let's keep it honest here. The Los Angeles Lakers are beating the Miami Heat in star power by a lot. And while I do think Eric Spoelstra is an incredible coach and he has so much defensive talent to work with on this Miami Heat roster, I just don't believe they're going to be able to neutralize LeBron James. Jimmy Butler has come out recently, and if you have the NBA app, you probably got the notification. He's feeling confident and he's detailing their plan to stop LeBron James. How many times have we heard this? Let's keep it real. How many times have we heard people's plans to neutralize LeBron James? And this man is entering his 10th NBA Finals. And even more than that, he's had more than that in experience being in the playoffs, playing in the NBA, playing against top tier talent. And he's always looked like an amazing competitor. And for most years of his career, he's looked like the best player in the league. And so many people have tried to find ways to neutralize him. They've thrown different defensive schemes at him, different guys at him. And especially in the NBA Finals, it just hasn't worked. The only time that people can realistically say that LeBron James was neutralized in an NBA Finals was the 2011 Finals, where he was on the Miami Heat and they were facing the Dallas Mavericks. But ever since then, we've looked at LeBron's Finals record and who he's gone against. I mean, he's gone up against guys like Kevin Durant in the NBA Finals, guys who are known for being able to shut down star players, and he's looked good against guys like Kawhi. I mean, LeBron James is just a different breed, and he's shown that in the NBA Finals, and we've just seen him overcome the obstacles, and I really do think he's going to be here. I mean, he's in a very familiar position. He's in familiar territory, and every time we've seen a team try to neutralize him in the NBA Finals, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It feels like, no matter what you try to throw at him, we can even look at this playoffs if you want to, and we can see all the different plans that they've tried to neutralize LeBron James, and none of them have seemed to pay off in the end. You throw double teams at him, he's going to pass to an open guy. If you try to play him close, he's going to get around you and he's going to make it to the rim. And that's exactly where you don't want him. If you force him to pull up, he's actually been really good at shooting threes and mid-rangers so far in the NBA playoffs. I mean, there is no way you can stop this guy. He is impossible to stop. LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. It is going to be extremely difficult for the Miami Heat to even slow him down. He's gone toe-to-toe in 9 other finals with teams that I would say are better than this Miami Heat roster. If you look back at all of the NBA Finals teams he's faced, not all of them are a clear team that's better than Miami. But if you look at them, look at the Warriors, right? The 2015-2016 Warriors. I don't think I need to say it. That's his best finals win. That's one of the most memorable finals of all time, I'd say, if not the number one most memorable. And that team is much better than this Miami Heat team, I'd say. And he made an impossible run, and he played amazing in that finals. I don't have to look at every individual team that he's went up against, but I think it's fair to say that he's gone up against better teams in the finals, and he's won. Now let's focus on Anthony Davis, right? Anthony Davis, he's never been in the finals before. In fact, this is clearly his deepest playoff run by a long shot. He is so lethal from everywhere on the court. I just finished talking about LeBron James and whatever defensive strategy you throw at him, it doesn't seem to work because he can pull it from 3 now, apparently in these playoffs. And when he's around the rim, he's really hard to guard. But Anthony Davis has been maybe the best mid-range shooter in the NBA in the playoffs. I know that might be blasphemous to Kawhi Leonard, but it has been incredible watching this guy make shots that nobody else in the NBA should be able to make. And that's where people I feel like are actually going to try to neutralize him because teams have kind of tried on LeBron, but they kind of just let him go most of the time. With Anthony Davis, it seems like the Rockets tried a strategy to, make him unplayable, and a lot of teams have thrown different stuff at him, thrown a lot of double teams on Anthony Davis. A lot of double teams have come for him in this playoffs. And if you try to take him out, it's just he finds a way, he really does. And I think that's even the case if Bam Adebayo is guarding him. Look, I really like Bam Adebayo. I'd consider him probably a top 10 defensive player in the league. And yet still, I believe that even if he is coming on a double team against Anthony Davis, that Davis is going to somehow find ways to either pass it out or make a shot that nobody else should be able to make. I just have a lot of faith in these two, in LeBron James and Anthony Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers. On top of that, you have other really good playmakers on this Lakers roster, like Rajon Rondo, who's been playing very good these playoffs. He has the moniker playoff Rondo for a reason. It's because he seems to step it up, and he's looked a lot better. And if he's out on the court, then he's going to be another guy who can get it to Anthony Davis and get him into work, maybe in the post. And let's not hesitate here, and let's talk about the guy that I know that all Lakers fans are upset with, Danny Green. Now, I'm not saying that Danny Green's going to be good in the NBA Finals, but I'm just saying that all the shooters on the Los Angeles Lakers have potential to make games unwinnable for the Miami Heat. Because if Danny Green gets hot, and if KCP gets hot, and you have LeBron and Anthony Davis, and you have really good defensive pieces like Dwight Howard, and sometimes JaVale McGee, sometimes if he's not fouling out, it's going to be almost impossible. And that is all to say that I believe this series may get close if momentum stays hot for the Heat. And I know that's a weird statement to make after I just told you how confident I was in pretty much all the pieces on the Los Angeles Lakers. But I have to say, man, that I really respect this Miami Heat team. For as much as I just talked the Lakers up, I think that the Heat could make this a close series. And the Heat really just have all the pieces to make this fun. But they're going to have to be in top form if they want to make this a close series. Let's keep it honest. If they're not playing at their best, if their shooters aren't hitting, and if their defense isn't A1, they're going to be at the victimhood of LeBron James and all of the pieces around him. It's going to be really tough. And so they're going to have to play their best. And I think that they can. Teams from the Rockets to the Nuggets have thrown different looks at the Lakers, and it has been shown that they may be the most adaptable team in the league. You find a strategy to take out, a certain thing that's been working for the Lakers, and they just find something else that works. It's going to be really hard because sometimes it's going to look like the Heat may have the edge, and then the Lakers come back, and they find something that works, and they abuse it. And I really do think that LeBron's going to hit his peak in this series. I believe in him a lot, and I think he's at his best when the pressure's on. And though it may not be close, I think it will be a little bit closer than some people. I think it's going to go 6 games. I think that LeBron's going to hit his peak here for the whole season, maybe for the last few seasons, because, last year he was injured. He didn't even make the playoffs. And I think he's just going to be at his best, and he's going to remind us why he's the best player in the NBA. So I think that the Lakers are going to win this series in 6 games. I'll be interested to see how Game 1 goes, and it's not going to cloud my judgment. If the Miami Heat win and they look really good in Game 1, I'm still going to stick to my prediction.